Electricity wholesale prices in Singapore could be cheaper in the long run if the pilot to import power from Malaysia goes well. And for that to happen, industry experts say the 2-year trial must iron out regulations and technical challenges. Its success could also pave the way for larger scale imports. Sherilyn reports.
Across this causeway lies part of Singapore's answer to a more diversified energy supply. Importing electricity from Malaysia would also be the first step towards tapping overseas grids that have more potential for cleaner energy. It's starting off with a small amount in a 2-year trial to sort out regulatory and technical issues. Analysts say that means prices won't change significantly for now, though it's possible in future.
We could see it pushing wholesale prices down lower, something on a much longer term, assuming that there is already a deeper market integration between both Malaysia and Singapore. So this is because generation cost in Malaysia is actually much cheaper. And if we're looking at something like renewable energy, the input marginal cost is actually very low, since it doesn't require any fuel or whatnot.
Singapore has also flagged its intentions for future larger-scale imports, but experts aren't concerned that this will lead to over-reliance, saying the country has enough backup.
Singapore has this vast overcapacity, about 80% more generating capacity than its peak load. At least in the short term, security of supply is not an issue with that. So I think for several years, even if they ramp up the amount of electricity they're trading across this line, I think that will not be an issue.
Still, safeguards are needed to ensure this flow would be reliable.
The most fundamental one is actually to have some kind of a dispute resolution mechanism and contract enforcement. It's not like, they can say they just want to turn it off, then they'll turn it off, because they could be taken to the institutional courts.
Ultimately, market watchers say the trial's a good step towards the larger goal of creating an ASEAN-wide power grid, an ambition that's been around since the 1990s.
The more experiments you have, even on a bilateral basis, people get comfortable with working each other, they get comfortable on the technical side, making their grids work with each other, as well as on the management side, and then you scale up.
They add that moving towards this regional electricity market could help homegrown power players sell excess capacity to emerging economies poised to become huge centres of demand.